events that took place within the week, some of the events that you may have been following, that may have been trending, ranging from security, education, entertainment, sports. So join us in the next 1 hour. Let's ride. And to join us in this conversation, I have a seasoned journalist from Radio Nigeria in the person of Mr. Alfred Ajay. Mr. Alfred, you're welcome to the program.
Morning, my pleasure.
Yeah, and of course, I have Chukwuemeka Modeling, who has been a constant here.
Good morning, listeners. Glad to be here.
And we have another seasoned analyst and the doctor in the house, in the person of Priska Wankwo. You're welcome, Doc.
Thank you. Good morning, ma. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Journalist Lounge.
Yes, and I am your anchor, Judy Jeff Mwabeze. Right there.
Efforts to inform, educate, and entertain you better. ABS proudly presents Journalist Lounge, a dynamic news and current affairs program. Each week, we delve into pressing global topics including politics, the economy, health, education, security, agriculture, and much more. Tune in to ABS 88.5 FM every Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. and be part of the conversation.
You're welcome back. Now, let's begin from home. Anambra State is the light of the nation, a light through which everywhere far east becomes glaring to the world. And Anambra keeps rising by the day. Every day the state keeps rising. And the governor, our governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, has once again added another merited accolade to his growing list of honors by clinching the Vanguard Good Governance Award 2024. The award is not only a recognition of excellence, but also a reaffirmation of Professor Soludo's 3-year tenure in Anambra State. Man, this is worthwhile. It's worth recognizing. It's everything. And I know that this award speaks volume of the governor of Anambra State, of everything. I mean, we know that he is not the only governor in Nigeria, but he keeps clenching these awards, awards are not rain, as in, So what does that award speak to you as a person? Chukwuemeka Modeling.
Thank you so much. That award is the reward of hard work. Is the reward of excellence. Yeah. Is the reward of merit. This is not the first award Governor Soludo has received in this country since he started piloting the affairs of Anambra State. And according to the management of Vanguard newspaper, one of the leading newspapers in Nigeria, they gave him that award because of his good governance, his transformation work in infrastructural development, education, security, even health, where he has performed exceedingly well. You know that our governor has also emerged as the best performing governor in primary healthcare delivery in the Southeast, in Nigeria. Yeah. So the man deserved the award given to him. And what the Vanguard newspaper is preaching is good governance. That every governor in Nigeria should emulate Governor Chukwuma Soludo in terms of good governance. What he is doing differently in Anambra is what should be replicated nationally. So the award is a welcome development, and Vanguard is not doesn't just go about giving award just for giving award. No, but they give it to people who merit it. That's why this one, I welcome it. And Governor Soludo should also go on to keep delivering the dividends of democracy to the Anambra, because they say that to whom much is given,
much is expected.
Much is expected.
Yes.
Okay, Anambra is faring. Anambra is progressive under the current leadership, and we want that to continue. That is the only way we can encourage good governance in Nigeria. Many governors, sometimes people say, why is it that when a governor does his job, he is being commended by his people, or just like Vanguard has done?
That it is his duty. To do that.
Yes, it's happening because many governors are not doing their jobs. They are not working. Many governors receive federal allocations and pocket it.
Precisely.
After 8 years, they will be arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
And before you turn your back, they are released.
Yes, they are released. So if you see one that is working, that is using his own judiciously, you commend the person, because that is the only way to
for others.
Yeah. Okay, to use their people's revenue to develop their areas. Yeah. So I congratulate Governor Chukwuma Soludo on this.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Alfred.
Yeah, I should naturally I will align with what Emeka said. Especially, I consider the fact that all of these awards coming in, apart from being testimonials of the good jobs that the governor has been doing, when I remember hearing every now and then that this is a state where they've not borrowed one kobo from anywhere. You know, when you now compare it, let's even agree that all that Governor Soludo has done has been replicated in other states of the Federation. The next question you ask is, with how much borrowing? So if Governor Chukwuma Soludo has not borrowed, and other governors have borrowed, whether they are nearby or they are far away, and they've achieved the same measure of, achievements in terms of public infrastructure and all of the things they've done, you will still give it to the one who did not borrow and was able to use what was available to him from the FARC, federal allocation, and internally generated revenue to get all that he has done. You see, so for me, it is commendable, not just because he has done all of that. You know, when you want to be critical, you say how much was available to them to do what they have done, to have been able to achieve that. So for the fact that he has still not borrowed a dime, as we know, that's in the public domain, that the governor said they have not borrowed anything up till now. So if that is the case, and we have all this, then it's commendable. So I think that the award is not badly directed. You know, it was meant for him, and he has won it.
Yes. Thank you very much. Doc, can we hear your thoughts on that too?
I think we're all in agreement. The saying that a goldfish has no hiding place is evident with the award that Vanguard gave Governor Chukwuma Soludo. And this is coming on the heels of the Sun Man of the Year award that he was also given. So,
back to back.
Yes. Ian Agwa Governor Boyajide Koji, Onyana see no name opportunity more operakus wiki. Na more. So the governor is doing well, and this is also more like this award will also support other governors. When you see that your counterpart is doing something and receiving accolades, it will also encourage you to sit up and do better. And the fact that this is Anambra State, of course, this is the Southeast, and the governor keeps winning this award. It's also a way of projecting Anambra to the rest of the world.
And the light of the nation.
Because when the governor wins an award, all eyes are now on Anambra State. People will want to see what's happening here. And at the same time, we are, getting a seat at the table, if I will put it like that. So the governor is doing well, and I'd like to say congratulations. So he shouldn't rest on his oars. He should keep doing what he's doing.
Yes, focused. Thank you very much, dear Governor, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. You're doing very well, without fear of contradiction. Congratulations on that award. Now, let's go over to the military. There's been growing concern of late over poor applications for recruitment into various Nigeria security agencies generally and into the military. among the youths from the southeast. The Nigerian Army specifically has lamented poor enlistment of southeast youths in the country's military. What do you think can be responsible for that? Doc, what do you think can be responsible for that? Our youths are no longer, they are not interested.
It's just like asking why the youths are no longer interested in Eba Boy. You know, things are changing. Yes, now it's the same thing, just like asking why the youths, because yeah, I'm going to refer to that because Hannah, why are the youths of Southeast not getting involved in the recruitment, enrolled in the Nigerian Army? It's the same thing we are still saying. Why are youths no longer interested in the Eba Boy apprenticeship scheme? It is simple. It's because the world is changing. Young people are more interested in easy money, get rich quick syndrome. Yeah. Nobody wants to do any hard work. Everybody wants to be a baby boy for life. Nobody wants to stress, but they want to flex on social media. And especially when you see people that have made it come, flaunt their flamboyant lifestyle online. You see what happened during the Obi Kubana's 50th birthday celebration and all that. And people will say something. People will say you cannot tell somebody how to spend
his money.
I agree. But there are two sides to that argument. I cannot tell somebody how to spend his or her money. However, how somebody spends his or her money, if it has an indirect effect on the other person, then you can tell somebody how he or she should spend his or her money. Now, we are saying people come online, flaunt their flamboyant lifestyle, private jets, spending money, throwing lavish parties. Now, you encourage other people that haven't made it. They do not want to work. They want to be like you. And because they want to be like you, they are going to cut corners to be like you. Yeah. And in cutting corners, they're hurting other people, they're hurting the society. So in this regard, you can't tell us, we can't tell you how to spend your money, because the way you're spending your money is affecting somebody negatively. So we can't tell you how you spend your money. So the reason why the youth of Southeast obviously are not getting enrolled in Nigerian Army is because the value for hard work has gone extinct. People do not want to work hard. People do not want stress. Young men, they just want. That is why now the primaries have come and gone, and we're gearing up for the November elections here in the States. People are already online carrying out campaign of calumny, insulting the other parties. Why? Because they need to work for their paymasters. They say it's he who plays the piper that it says the tune. If you do not do these things, you're not going to eat. So people do not want to work hard. It's simple. People don't want hard work, and people just want the easy way out. Precisely why the young people here in the Southeast do not want to get enrolled in the Nigerian Army.
Right. Thank you very much. That's your thought. Chukwemeka, what do you think about that? What could be the reason? Is it just the apathy towards Eba Boy that has affected their enrollment and their enlistment into the military?
Yes, laziness, like Doc said, is one of the factors responsible for that. 80% of our youth, now want to get rich quick, without working for it. And then without asking themselves, how did these people get to the top? How did they become rich? Okay, so that is one of the causes of that. Then another cause of that is that there is a misconception that recruits from the Southeast, are disproportionately sent to battlefronts, okay? While other recruits from other regions in Nigeria are posted to headquarters, UCBs, okay? So, so that is one of the reasons why we have that low, recruitment of our youth into the military. And another issue there is that it's lack of enlightenment campaign. Many of them do not know, okay, the benefits that are in military service. So the thing is that our leaders, state government, community leaders, youth leaders should also help in this regard by sensitizing their youth on the need to join the military. Because when you join the military, okay, you now have a sense of belonging. You have a legitimate means of livelihood. And with time, you rise to senior ranks. If the former military, chief of army staff Brigadier General Ihejirika did not join the military, he wouldn't have reason to become the Chief of Army Staff. He started from the cradle, and that was how he got there. Likewise, former Director General of National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Nando Koriafia, is from the southeast. Okay.
And so, yes,
many of them, you know them. So these are the things they should be telling our youth, not engaging in the okite to get rich quick. That other youths from the country, as we speak, over 3,000 youths from the northern part of this country have applied for these recruitments. When we are having 200 in the southeast, it's highly discouraging. So that the federal government should also look into this area. Okay, if there is need for the army to deploy, troops to battlefronts, it should be all inclusive, not limiting it to a particular region. That will discourage them from joining the military. Okay, so and another area I want to talk about is there is this news making the rounds that the unknown government, people are threatening our youth not to join the military. That if they join them, that they will kill them. So this is the duty of our government. They should come up to sensitize the youth that such thing does not exist. That when they join the military, these are the things they stand to gain. Okay, the region will be well represented. Because if you don't take your loss, others will take it. Yes. And in the long run, we will lose.
We will lose.
So that is that.
Okay, right. I quite agree with you because I know that some regions, when they are up there or when they are nearing their retirement period, they make sure their people, they have replacements.
Yes.
People from their own region to replace them, to take after them.
Yes.
It's like that in Oroyibo too.
Yes.
So we should encourage those up there. If these people like Ikenwachukwu, Ihejirika, if they had encouraged their people, people coming after them, their relations and
they did not do their job properly. That's the same thing.
Yes.
And some of them, when they gave this loss, they hold it. They don't give it to their people. So how do you encourage them to go to enlist into the military if you don't do what you are supposed to do?
Because I know that now a lot of people, hey, na one day boy hey, also I am not that. That's so I am not to that. Maybe there are some 1 year ago. Oh, the Ponya may have been today. When you cause on they defend, that is shoulders high.
Yeah.
They take, we take pride, not they, we take pride in it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think we lack the enlightenment. Yes.
That should increase the enlightenment.
And
of joining the military.
And I have to, I think I have to give kudos to Anambra State government. We are trying, and even Commissioner for Information, because he keeps bringing these announcements. We've been flooding the airwaves with the announcements. You'll be hearing it. Hey. Something like
that will go a long way.
So let our youths, know that there's a lot of benefits there.
Not just the military, the Air Force, the police, all the security agencies.
Yes.
People run away from joining them. Just because of the reason I've stated before. So there is need for government to look into that. That will encourage inclusivity. Every region will want their youth, to get recruited into the force if the right thing is done.
Thank you very much. Ajay?
Yeah, my contributions to it, I may go a bit critical because I feel that it is also one of the ways the Southeast give their feedback to the Federation of Nigeria. There have been issue of marginalization, not allowing us to do this, to do that, all the while. So when this comes, people feel, I've watched a video of somebody saying, why is military, you are begging our youth to come and join. Why did you not beg them to join NNPC? Why did you not beg them to join immigration? Those other GC places, CBN, and all of that. Even though I don't totally agree with that, because what is available now, what is there to grab at the moment is what they are saying, come and join. And you see, one of the disadvantages of not joining. Not just today. Those who were supposed to join 30 years ago and did not join have missed the opportunity to become the general that we are celebrating today. And you see, you talk about deployment the other time. If the time comes to deploy people to war fronts, and the man that is there is from Kaduna State, and he's going to deploy based on, I need to keep the lives of those who are from my state and all of that. And you see, so sometimes when you don't come to the table when you are supposed to come, when you come late, you find it difficult to find your bearing. That's what is happening now, that, you know, maybe because of the Civil War experience and all of that, people became uninterested in Nigeria and Nigerian affairs, and they said leave it for them. So these other guys were the recruits then many years ago. They have become the general. They've always, some of them have retired, and now they are saying, okay, come and join. If you don't join now, many years to come, 20 years to come, 30 years to come, we will still continue to say the same thing. Because that time, even if you join now and you join in smaller number compared to others, you cannot rank at par with them when it comes to the number of generals that this state has produced, that region has produced, and all of that. So apart from whatever it is we think we have as consideration not to do this, let's also remember the fact that it is also one of the things of pride. Like you said the other time, you have a general that is, you know, from this state. It is something you are proud of until that man, even at death, people still refer to them. Jurika is no longer the chief of army staff, but that is a height he has achieved that we cannot forget in a hurry. So I think people should be encouraged to do that, to join the army, because you can talk about the ratio of, you know, other juicy places. Maybe that is correct, that when it comes to juicy institutions of government, they are not begging anybody. In fact, there is a succession plan that is not even known to the public. You get this man is going, this one has come in. You can't even notice the vacuum, you know, because there is a, you know, seamless succession plan. But because of the nature of this, we can't discourage people. We just need to continue to encourage them, because if you join today and you do it well, you don't know, you rise and become a star that everybody will worship and respect tomorrow. So I think it's an opportunity for the youths in the Southeast to give it a try and put their minds there and see what they can get. After all, we know that people from here are people that are creative, they are resilient, they can do much better than some of the people that are coming from other parts of the country. So I think they should be encouraged.
Right. Thank you very much. The youth, you've heard it. Bikonu start enlisting and enrolling now the Nigerian army and other security agencies, because all balloon or baline, you know, let's work together to get whatever that is due to us from there. Thank you very much. Now, let's move over to Plateau State. Yes, we know that Plateau State is trending now. The recent bloodbath in Plateau State, that one paints a very grim picture of our security situation in the country. Death tolls continue to rise as search teams comb through bushes recovering dead bodies here and there. Then the Plateau State, which used to be a center of attraction, it used to be a home for us, center of tourism, you know, it has now become a shadow of itself within how many months, you know, how many weeks. Now, the governor of the state, Caleb Mutuang, in a state broadcast said that fear will not overrun Plateau State. And by that, he has urged the people to rise up and defend themselves. Wow.
How would they defend themselves?
That is what the governor is telling.
So what he's saying is that the state government can no longer guarantee their security.
Oh, yes.
They can no longer defend them.
Indirectly.
That is unacceptable.
People should rise up and defend themselves.
See, President Tinubu has told this governor to summon the necessary political will to stop these senseless killings of the people of Plateau State. the next action I see Mr. President taking is declaration of state of emergency in Plateau State. If the governor does not rise to the occasion. These killings did not start today. Everybody who lives in this country from 1999 to date knows what I'm talking about. When it happened, I think between 2000 and 2003, that was when Governor Joshua Darie was in charge. He couldn't control the situation. At a point, President Olusegun Obasanjo declared the state of emergency in that state, and that restored peace and order. Okay, so these people being killed are people's fathers, uncle, aunts,
children.
They are children. They are not objects. It's just that it's very unfortunate that we don't value life in this country. I can't control the situation when people are being killed. So the government of Plateau State should identify the causes of this crisis. Those fueling it, punish them accordingly. This problem has been with us for more than 2 decades. It did not start today, and they will not tell us that they don't know the causes of this violence. If they say so, then they are deceiving themselves. They are not being truthful. It's about government doing what they are supposed to do for their people. The primary responsibility of government is protection of lives and property. If government cannot do that, then that government is useless. There is no need for that government to exist. All right. We are saying this because it could happen in any part of Nigeria. It could happen anywhere. So Governor Caleb Mutwang should use his power, exercise his power the right way. He knows what to do. I don't know whether he's being afraid of what the people will do if he goes after them. If the situation is beyond your control, then call the federal government to handle it. Enough of these senseless killings of Nigerians.
Emeka, can I say something?
Oh yeah.
You see, the truth is, Mutwang maybe has not done up to what people expect from him.
Yeah.
But he is not the first to be helpless in the face of this reality in Plateau State.
On ground.
His predecessors were helpless. Now, this is the point. The way Nigeria is structured today, the governor is just merely said to be the chief security officer. The governor does not control the military in the state. Whatever the military formation you have in your state is not under your control.
Yeah.
Even the state police command is not under your control. Every other one is not under your control. Maybe probably the only one you can say is under your control is this, if you have vigilante operatives. So if you have that, if that is a reality, and the president, who is the grand, commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is telling the person who the army division in that state might not listen to. If there is a contrary order from Abuja, the person that is in Plateau State, heading the military formation in Plateau State, will not listen to Mutwang. That is the truth. You have seen that play out many occasions.
Yeah.
When the federal government is not aligning, maybe with the governor, I don't know what the state is. But I feel that the federal government, even the president, does not need to be warning this man to do this and do that. He can as well do something as the commander-in-chief. Do something, deploy the kind of force that the situation in Plateau State needs, because it has been there all along. People, name it many things, label it as, ethnic cleansing and all of that. So if this is the truth, where I think I will align with those who are saying the Mutwang has not done enough, is that, look at Anambra State. Anambra was also challenged, by insecurity, a few months ago and years ago. And at some point, the governor demonstrated the political will to tackle it, and he came out frontally. And he seems to be tackling the situation. Yeah. Now, what it means is, I'm not sure such a thing has happened in Plateau State, despite having a long run of this savage that is going on in that place. So the man should have done something more decisive than he has done. And for him to have said people should defend themselves, that could be an invitation to anarchy. I agree that
what are they defending themselves?
Because there was even a time in the last dispensation under President Muhammadu Buhari that they did what they call retriever of arms. They said people should come and lay down their arms. That time, and people say, okay, when we lay it down, then we become armless. Then these people will have power over us and we'll be watching them. And what if that has happened in that same state? People have submitted, even the few they had before that they can defend themselves with, they've submitted. And now you are asking them to defend them. Even if they have, it means that, blood else will roll. Yes. Blood will be shed. And, I don't know, but I think that the governor should be more responsive and responsible than he is at the moment. This is a tough situation. It needs tough treatment.
Alfred said something about federal government being in charge of security. Yes, in reality, that is true. On paper, the state governors are just security officers of their states. But here in Anambra, just like you said, Governor Soludo has gone the extra mile to tackle insecurity in Anambra by forming the Operation Ubogachi security outfit, and that has helped to address the problem of insecurity in Anambra. Mutuan should also do the same thing. The president knows that he can do something, and that is why he's telling him to do something. If you don't do something, I'll come in. Okay, and I know, and the
issue of president asking him to do something might be to be forewarned. Just to say, I have warned him. Whether he has done what he needs or not, I don't know. Is Mutuan not, is it APC state? PDP, I know where I'm going. You know, he could be telling him just to say that there is forewarning, so when I come now and take over
they say
another PDP, because all these have political undertones. Yes, we know that lives are being wasted there, and the governor should do something. But even if instead of you waiting for the governor, not minding the number of people that are being wasted before the governor acts, why not act if you have something better that you can do to arrest that situation? Thank God that he even sounded like somebody not like the other president. The other president was not sounding like he was interested in addressing the problem in Plateau. But this one sounded, maybe because it's not from that place, so he might not be involved in the politics down there. But no matter what, if this man is foot dragging in taking the right action, let the president do the right thing, not declaring states of emergency. Why is he always very swift? Especially in states that are not controlled by his party.
PDP states. Okay, right. Doc, let's hear your thoughts.
I don't even know what to say. Every day when we come online, we will see one story or the other. And what has been, I was even having this discussion with somebody yesterday, and he was saying something about it being religious, that it was a fallout from what happened in Edo State. But I was telling the person that, okay, even if that's the case, now they're not only killing Christians, everybody is affected, even kids, even fathers, mothers. So if actually that was a fallout from what happened to Edo State, which I don't believe, why is it that people that are feeling the brunt of the attack, it's the general populace? It's not like streamlined to a particular segment of persons living in Plateau State. And if people do not feel secure, when people talk about Japan, people think it's just about making money, or people think it's just about the economic crisis that makes people to Japan. No. People leave the country because of this kind of scenario. When you want to travel to Lagos, you're scared of traveling by road. You do not have money for flights, but you want to travel. But you're scared that you might not even get to your destination. Security, which is the basic thing that every human should have, which is the basic thing that every government should provide for their citizens. But when it doesn't happen, people feel disillusioned. And sometimes people are pushed to protect themselves anywhere and anyhow. That was what played out in Edo State. Because this political crisis, it didn't just start now. Yesterday, I think I read in the news, the president was making a statement after the 51 persons or so that died. saying they will not take it, they will fight back, they will do this thing. Is it today we start hearing it? This was what he said like how many weeks ago? He's still saying it. People are still dying. Talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than words. You can't just keep saying you will do something, Yes, every day people are dying. It doesn't make sense. And I agree with what my colleague said about the governor. These things his predecessors experienced it. And yes, the governor is the chief security officer, but I think this thing in this kind of scenario is beyond the governor. I think he needs help. I think it's time for the federal government to step in. It's not to declare state of emergency in River State.
Good help, positive help, not.
If that is the way forward, if it's to declare a state of emergency or something, but something needs to be done. People cannot just keep dying, and yet you do not want people to leave the country for a better life. Somebody is walking on the street, somebody will just come from behind and kidnap you. You just want to go and buy something down the road, somebody will kidnap you. And all those kind of stories. You wonder why people keep running away from the country. I think our government needs to be better.
The declaration of state of emergency does not necessarily mean that the president must remove the governor.
Yes,
the governor can still be there.
Yes,
okay?
Can, but there's no guarantee.
The governor we have seen, the governor can still be there. We have seen. The one he did in Rivers was illegal because he does not have power to remove elected governor and the members of the State House of Assembly. Former President Goodluck Jonathan did this. He declared state of emergency in 3 northern states. Okay, but he didn't remove their governors because he knew he didn't have the power to do so. So Tinubu, if he wants to help them, can, just like Alfred said, should deploy troops to that state, okay, to arrest the situation, not removing the governor. Not removing the governor. The governor will still be there, administering the affairs of Plateau State. That is the way to go about it.
See, you see, party difference shouldn't even come in here. We are talking about securing lives that are being wasted. So they should put aside every other political difference and come to work together. Mutwang should not have issue calling on the president to come and help. The president should not have issue to say, Mutwang, I see this is beyond you. We need to step in and stop this. So I think they should put aside whatever are their political differences and work together for the sake of lives being wasted in that state.
That one is our thoughts. But will they do it? Maybe it's just a ploy to still clinch that state because it's not APC state. But we just stay and watch things unfold. But we pray that these things will be brought to an end.
Yeah. We hope so.
Yeah. Now, let's go over to sports. Recently, precisely on the 12th, I think, on the 12th of April, we woke up with the news that of the passing of Christian Chukwu. Christian Chukwu, a distinguished football icon and a true patriot, and a former Super Eagles captain. The Nigeria Football Federation is publicly eulogizing and praising him. Many people are questioning how the same institution allegedly failed him while he was alive. Because we know that Christian Chukwu battled prostate cancer for a long time, in as much as some public-spirited individuals came to his rescue. He equally relied on crowdsourcing campaigns, to take care of his health. Then we keep asking, why did the Nigeria Football Federation or
Nigeria State,
Nigeria State,
it's like they failed him in spite of all his contributions to national development in the area of sports? What do you think could be the situation? And we've heard situations and occasions like this, people putting in everything they had, trying to develop the country, trying to fight for the country, trying to represent the country. But in the long run, once they retire, once we stop seeing them, once they go back to the scene, go back, they operate from the back, we cease to help them, we cease to do have any kind of contact with them. It is quite demoralizing. So what can we say about this, the death of Christian Chukwu, a former Super Eagles captain?
All right, maybe to say that is a big loss, a big loss in the sense that Christian Chukwu was an iconic player, not just as a player. He played for the Green Eagles, I think, and that was the one he captained to win the first ever AFCON title.
No, he captained the Super Eagles.
Super Eagles.
Not the Green.
Okay, but I know that he captained them to win, that first AFCON title. Then 1980.
1980.
Before he became also the Super Eagles coach. And he coached them, I think, for like 3 years. During that time, he also led the same Super Eagles to semi-finals. And that's not common. How many of the players that are, some of those that have played for the same, team came back to coach them? We have seen many of them like that. Eguava was there. We've experimented with many of them, but not many of them were able to do and achieve what he achieved. The same thing he did with the Rangers International. He was a player, and at a point, he also became the coach. And during his time, in the saddle, he has always made that mark. He has always made history. And no wonder they call him, his teammates call him chairman. Chairman, because he has the aura of a leader. When he's there, things fall in place. So that's tendency, that's I do call it natural gifting, stood him out. And that is why when he finally got retired, disappeared from the scene, and he suffered the kind of neglect that we thought he suffered, because these groups keep coming out to deny that they did not abandon him, that they were there for him and all of that. But I think it is for us to see that we don't have a very good reward system as a country. Precisely. That the moment, no matter what people do for us, the moment they disappear from the scene, it seems that out of sight is out of mind, completely out of mind. It doesn't matter during their active life what they achieved for the country. The moment they are just not there, it's like they never existed. And that shouldn't be the right way to treat people who have contributed. I think it also can contribute to people not wanting to come and serve their country, because they know, is it worth serving? Because when you do the service, except whatever you gain during your active service years. And that is why you see when people serve and they want to do everything to get whatever they can get, because they know at retirement Nigeria forgets.
Yes.
I will stop it there, but I think he was a great man, and it's a pity that we lost him at 74.
Okay, right. Chukwemeka Modeling, a sports analyst.
Alfred has said it all.
Yeah, the analyst.
Alfred has said it all. Let me add my voice to his. Christian Chukwu was a great player during his days. Okay, he played for the Rangers Football Club. He also won a title with them. Okay, captained the Super Eagles between 2002 and 2005. Took us to semi-finals of AFCON tournament hosted by Tunisia, okay, in 2004. Tunisia, in fact, Tunisia was the team that knocked out Nigeria. We played semi-final with them. Then the same man, in fact, any team he coached, he set a good record for himself. So he did exceptionally well in the area of football. And now that he is gone, federal government should not let his efforts, his contributions to national development in terms of sports go in vain. Just like he said, we don't have a good reward system in Nigeria. It's very, very worrisome. It's very, very worrisome. We have many superstars doing very well in European leagues, European, Asian, and American leagues. Okay, NFF has been calling them to come and play for Nigeria, and they are saying no. And we know the reason. The reason is not far-fetched. The ones that played for you, under the rain, under the sun. How far? How did you take care of them after retirement? How did you take care of them? Wambu So the federal government should look into this. They should put in place a good reward system, not even just for footballers. Other Nigerians that have served this country and retired.
Yes.
Good Lord Jonathan did this. I always make reference to Jonathan when he was in charge. He called all these all these former players, all these our legends, even actors and actresses.
Yes.
Took care of them. He gave them money. I know that some of them
houses.
Gave them houses. That is how to encourage patriotism. That is how to encourage. Now, this is our use. How the people join the military. Or when you join the military, won a battlefront. His family will be forgotten.
Gay women.
Yeah? Is that how America, China, the world they want to be like, got to the top? Is that how they became great? No. We are very unserious with development and matters concerning Nigerians. So Christian Chukwu should not just die like a nobody.
For nothing.
For nothing. He has paid his dues. He has served this country. He deserves honor. The federal government should take care of his family. If his children, if there is need for them to give his children scholarship up to tertiary education level, they can do that.
Or grandchildren, maybe his children may have.
Or even grandchildren, or even give them
the state of his children. They may be in need of
anything they need of.
Yeah.
Anything they need of. The government should provide it. That is how to encourage patriotism. Okay, yeah. So this man deserves to be, his family deserves to be taken care of. Now that he's no longer there, to encourage others. Okay, that will encourage others. Okay, to always serve this country with their best. If you hear how the federal government even treated Rashidi Yekini, who was one of our best. You look for this.
And the other one that slumped at the Port Harcourt Stadium, what's that his name? Somebody that a footballer that slumped way back at Port Harcourt.
Why playing for Nigeria? How far? What did they do for Nigeria?
That one is very pathetic.
So it did not start today. This problem has been there. It's about having the right leadership. That will do the right thing. We are very, very unlucky with leadership in this country. That is just the truth. We keep having leaders who do not have the benefit of the nation at heart. Okay, well, how can we do to extricate Nigeria from the entanglement of its captors? What can we do in this country? What can we do differently to get there? Okay, to be like other great nations, okay, that are doing very, very well. We've not had such leadership, and that is why we are where we are today. So the current leadership should emulate President Good Lord Jonathan. It should emulate in this regard. That is just that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. On that note, Doc, Priska, what can you add to that?
Okay, they've said everything. I just want to say that we shouldn't wait for people that have worked or served Nigeria as patriotic citizens to get ill before we lend a helping hand. And what Chukwemeka Modelim said about President Goodluck Jonathan giving some of the legends something, I think it shouldn't just be about giving them money. I think there should be a structured welfare policy for legends, so that in the case like you mentioned when Christian Chukwu fell ill and how they needed to crowdfund for him, that thing shouldn't have happened, because if there is a structured welfare policy for legend, when somebody falls ill, when somebody meets this kind of situation, that's that welfare policy will take care of it. You don't need to come online to start begging anybody for money. So because you say that Nigerians are not patriotic, we keep doing this, keep doing that, we keep playing for other countries, it's because you can't even trust that when you do this for your own country, you're going to get a reward. You die in the battlefield, your kids are not taken care of, your children are not taken care of. I think it's very sad, and we should do better. And at the end of the day, now we are celebrating Christian Chukwu. I think it's also a lesson to every one of us that is still living. death is something, is a price that someone has to pay at some point, but it's not about dying. It's about what you're going to be remembered for, and the legacies and the footprints that you're going to leave on the sands of time. So we should all strive to do something that people can remember us by, just like we are doing now, talking about all his achievements. I think it's also a conscious decision for us to think about our own lives as well.
Right. Thank you so very much for all your contributions. Thank you for coming on this platform for this conversation. And on this note, we bring to an end this week's edition of Journalist Lounge. Join us same time next week for another interesting edition. From me and from all of us here, it's bye for now.
All right.
As part of efforts to inform, educate,